Joining us now is global entrepreneur and business strategist Ruble Chandy.
The international entrepreneur and best-selling author Ruble Chandy.
Great to be with you, Melissa, and good morning, Houston. That you need to have in order to succeed and thrive in the coming or existing financial crisis that we are all facing all over the world. But it will be injustice and unfair to you if I don't share a couple of important details about what is happening right now in the world. Right, 2 years ago, globally, I did like so many conversations all over the world, including India, US, different places where I said, there is going to be like different type of financial crisis that is coming to us, and how to create an opportunity while you're navigating in that journey. And so what is happening in the world right now? I shared around 2 years ago, I said the world currencies are going to deflate, which means the value of the currencies all over the world are going to go down. Fast forward right now, Sri Lanka. You know what happened in Sri Lanka? Hyperinflation. It's really expensive to get almost anything there. There are so much civil unrest. Turkey has major inflation. Other countries are like pretty much almost all countries have close to two-digit inflation. What does that mean? It means that price of things are increasing almost 10% minimum in different countries. And if you look at like certain Eastern countries and different countries all over the world, you would see that it's not even 10%, it's like 20% per year. What does that mean? It means that the price of things are going up so fast, you're not able to even catch up. Imagine you put money in your bank and you're getting 5% interest from your bank. And then by the time you finish the year, your money is worth only 80% of what it was worth last year. How scary is that? Like how intelligent you should act in a situation like that. Imagine like 15% of your money is gone if you put your money in your bank for 1 year. 15% is gone. Depending on your country, if you put that in Sri Lanka, then essentially 80% of your value is probably gone. If you put it in Turkey, you got like 50% of the value is diminished. So that is what is happening, hyperinflation. And hyperinflation, is that a big deal? It's not a big deal because it's generally an economic indicator that the economy is growing, the world is growing. We are getting into a much better place. What a beautiful place to be. But that's not the case what is happening right now. While I talk about the next thing, which I shared around 1.5 years ago, I shared this word called stagflation. And then even then at the time, people didn't know, even people who are coming from economics and accounting and people from finance, they didn't even know this word for the most part. They didn't know what stagflation was. Stagflation is something that doesn't occur all the time. Stagflation happens only when you have hyperinflation in a stagnant economy. So economy is stagnant, so everything else is going down. Economy is going down, and there is inflation, which rarely happen, right? So typically, economy goes up, inflation goes up, and then governments can try to bring the economy down, like try to bring in or rein in the economy by, for example, increasing interest rate. Then what happens? It becomes stable. But when there is inflation, so what happens is they cannot try to increase the interest rate and control the economy. Why? Because if you do that, then regular people will not be able to, it is going to make the inflation worse, right? Because people cannot buy stuff, price is going to go up, and we are going to get into a much bigger problem. So it's like a difficult situation. Governments don't know what to do other than printing money and giving it to people. So think about it. All over the world, you would see, and if you're from any country, Eastern, Western, anywhere, you would know that after COVID or while COVID happened, people were sent money to home, money or kits or food or groceries or other stuff were sent home. Why? Not because of COVID. COVID was definitely the logical reason, the logical justification for doing it. But reality, it was not because of COVID. The reality was because economies were like stuck, right? They don't know what to do. So we reached what I call as the third phase of monetary policy, according to Ray Dalio, who's one of the largest investor in the world, who's handling $150 billion. So essentially, the world reached a point where we cannot control this economy by changing interest rates. Interest rates are not going to support us anymore. So what do? We start printing money and start sending people money. So that's when I predicted around 2 years ago, currencies are going to go down. and currency values are going to go down, and so many other things in between. So I wanted to be very brief about it. So that's what is happening. And the thing that is going to happen next that you're going to see is you would start to see countries going bankrupt. In 2008 crisis, you saw corporations and big organizations going bankrupt. This time it's going to be countries. And I don't think China is going to go bankrupt, but China is going to have a major crisis. So in the next 12 months, observe that China is going to have a major financial crisis, and that might propagate a financial crisis in other countries too. So what mindset do we have? And I'll share the 3 mindsets in a second, and I will explain the details, but you really need to know like what you need to do when you go through a crisis like this, right? Because the mindset is not going to help you unless and until you do like the right things, right? Even if you have the right mindset, if the market is going down, it's going down. So you need to have a strategy too. I'll share those strategies for a second, and then I'll talk about the mindset. Okay, good. So countries are going to go bankrupt, right? And it's going to be a very interesting world. Okay, so what do we do? One, if you're a business owner, sell more, learn to sell more, and collect more cash and convert that into physical assets, inventories, and things that you could do to stabilize your business. But don't keep way too much cash. If you keep way too much cash, keep in mind the value of that money is going down significantly every year. Second thing, invest in innovation. Make sure that you are investing in innovation and investing in yourself. You are the innovation of the company. You are the person who comes up with the idea. So naturally, make sure that you are investing money into innovation so that you are bringing like better value to customer, better ideas to customer, better convenience to customer, better pricing to customer, better experience or customer experience for consumers, so that they feel good about your product, so that they want to buy from you. When you are in a crisis, make sure that instead of getting stressed out, make sure that you invest heavily into innovation, right? So whatever money that you could collect, invest a portion of that into innovating new ideas so that your customers are super happy as you're traveling through this journey. Third thing is make sure that 1% of your asset is in crypto. So especially if you're a high net worth individual, and if you have a lot of money in bank, and if you don't do what I'm about to tell you, you are going to be screwed. So that's the truth. Okay. So whether you like it or not, I am not an alarmist. I don't say stuff like this all the time. If you don't like, for example, if you listen to me 2 years ago, and 2 years ago when I said there is going to be a financial crisis, when I wrote articles about that in different parts of the world, for example, I wrote an article about all currencies are going to go devaluate now, I said. That was on December 2021. And then I wrote about a crisis in India. I mean, in Indian magazine, I wrote down about the crisis that is about to happen on January 26, 2021. So you could see that, if you just follow my idea and put money, took out your cash and started investing in the way I suggested. I'm not an investor advisor, so ask your mother-in-law for advice. Not I'm kidding. Ask your financial advisor to know where to invest your money on. But my point is, you can use the data that I'm sharing with you to invest wisely on whatever the heck you want to invest on. But the point is that cash is going to devalue, right? So that's really important. So let's get into the mindset. After I say 1% of your assets has to be in crypto, like especially if you're a high net worth individual, it's 1% of your freaking asset. If you're losing 20% in your currency right now, or if you're losing 50% in your currency right now every year, or if you're losing 10% in US, essentially you must put money in basically crypto. Like invest 1%. 1% is 1 by 100 of your assets into crypto. Make sure that, and keep in mind, 10 years from now, that might be your biggest asset. It's possible. Okay, so keep in mind, this asset class is going to explode to the next level. And don't get freaked out when it is going down. Everything is going to go down. Try to buy more crypto if you could. If it's going down, it's going to go down. Everything is going to go down. And when it does, it's not a bad situation. That's how world operates, right? So there will be an economic growth and an economic deflation. These things happen, right? But if you're intelligent about it, you could come out of it really successful. So what are the 3 mindsets that I'm talking about? Oh my gosh, it's been a lot of time you were waiting to get this mindset. 1, think globally. Don't think like whatever country you're listening this from. Don't think based on your country, your state, whatever. No, you need to think globally. See what is happening in the US. What is, like, if there is a recession in the US, it's going to affect you. So think globally. What is happening in the world? What's happening in Sri Lanka? What's happening in Ukraine and Russia and the geopolitical situation? So pay attention to everything. Like, pay attention to everything that is happening in the world from a financial standpoint to decide what to invest on, how to invest on, how to protect your asset, and how to grow your business. Second, act and think creatively. So how do you think creatively? The regular answer traditionally is like, oh, let me collect some money and put that in the bank. And you need to have money in the bank. You need to have some savings. You need to have some sort of thing to support you, right? Think creatively. Like, if you could afford to buy some gold, buy some gold. Like, if you could afford to buy some silver, if that is something, I don't like buying gold or silver, so I don't do it. I'm just letting you know. But if that's what interests you, just go ahead and do that. Precious metals, they are all going to go down. They're all going to go down. But when it comes back, these are going to come back first. Real estate, if you could put money on real estate, right? Think creatively, invest in real estate. Do it intelligently. There are the prices in real estate all over the world, except for US, which is like hyperinflated now. It's going to come down in the next 6 months to 1 year. So wherever you live, if the real estate prices have plummeted, if it's 40%, 30%, 50% down, invest in land, invest in assets, physical assets, farmlands, the things that you could do to create and preserve your asset. Because this freaking thing called money, it's going to be reinvented in the next 5 to 10 years. Okay. The final thing is learn how to navigate in uncertainty. The world is going to be uncertain from now. So don't think that it's going to be, oh, when do I get my peaceful world? There is no effing peaceful world anymore. It's done, right? We are over, right? Which means that there will be uncertainties after uncertainties after uncertainties after uncertainties. Let's learn to deal with that. It's a welcome to life, right? So 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 50 years ago, you might be like, oh, it was a very peaceful life. Yeah, that peaceful life, you need to create your own inner peace, right? Go watch Kung Fu Panda 2 and learn how to manage inner peace. I'm joking, but definitely watch it. It's a pretty good movie. Yeah, so you need to find and figure out how to find your inner peace, like when the world is going uncertain. Because if you don't learn how to create certainty within you, that's the most important mindset. And if you don't know how to navigate uncertainty, when the whole world is uncertain, you feel certainty within you, then it's challenging. So like, go back to your spirituality, go back to your religion, go back to your whatever practice, yoga, meditation, TM, or whatever other things to do, like making love, or whatever you do to relax you, and whatever, like, connect with your children, connect with your family, connect with your friends, build meaningful relationships, and then deal with uncertainty. If you follow this mindset, if you follow the strategies, and if you really understand what I'm sharing right now, then you would come ahead of this. It's highly likely this situation that is going to happen in the very short period, the current inflation, hyperinflation, the stagflation, and things around it could become much bigger than the 2008 opportunity. So 2008, a lot of people became rich. A lot of people became rich. A lot of people increased their asset. A lot of people lost money too. I don't want you to be the person who's losing money. I want you to be the person who makes money, like build their asset, increase their cash flow, increase their confidence, increase their clarity in the process. So I want you to be one of them. So if you haven't followed my YouTube channel, if you haven't followed some of the things that I shared about in the last 2 years, just come follow me. Share this with your friends so that they are protected too. Don't share it with your enemies. Don't protect them. Don't be that nice. Okay. So, but share it definitely with your friends. Make sure that they know what is happening right now, so they are protected. They can protect their assets. Right? Typically, from a crypto standpoint, if you are planning to invest 1% asset in your crypto, try not to invest beyond these 3 or 4. Right? Other than that, you can figure out. So Bitcoin, Ethereum, Polygon, Solana, those 4. That's it. Anything outside of that, just do your homework and do it for yourself. There are other companies outside of that, but these are going to be relatively safe companies. I'm not guaranteeing that they're going to give any return, and I don't give financial advice. I just do the things for myself, and I'm sharing what I'm doing with you. Okay, so cool. So go do something about it. Like, understand these things, understand what is happening in the world, have the right mindset. Make sure that you have your certainty coming in from inside, so that no matter what happens in the outside of the world, you're cool, you're calm. Okay, bye. That's it.
You had to go through some crazy experience in your life. I understand that, but you can change that today.